Well, good morning and greetings, BCOT247 students. This is Mr.D once again. This is week number 8 in our 14 or 15 week business communications class here at Cerritos College. And we are going to be looking this week at chapter 6, positive and neutral messages. And this is where we're just kind of looking at what are everyday messages and types of messages that you send in the business environment. And so you'll be looking at emails and letters and memos and those kinds of things. And so that's kind of the content. These are just regular everyday messages. Next week, we'll be looking at negative messages. So pretty much in business, you have a lot of communication happening via email or via memos, and you're just communicating everyday routine things. And that's kind of what this chapter gets into. So I'm going to share my screen here. Of course, we are still in module number 2. We've been there for a week or so. So I'm going to go ahead and select module number 2 here, and that's going to bring me to week number 8, where we're at this week. And so once again, you do have a check-in assignment. You have one every week where you're answering a couple questions. These are only open for 1 week, so don't miss them. And they're basically my way of saying that you attended or that you participated in class. There's a PowerPoint for chapter 6. And then we're going to be doing a memo this week. So I want to highly, highly recommend that you view this memo explanation right here. It's a PowerPoint I did when I got hired at Cerritos. I had to do a presentation on how to format a memo. And that was the presentation, the PowerPoint. It's not the actual recorded presentation, but it's a PowerPoint. But if you read the PowerPoint, you will see what a memo should look like, what the do's and don'ts of a memo are. And so I highly recommend you watch that. There's also another one right here, how to format a memo. It might actually be the same one. Let me take a look. Yeah, it's the same video, PowerPoint. This is actually a video. So you can watch that video as well on how to format a memo. I highly recommend that you do that. Typically, I had a homework assignment where you had to basically format a memo, but I took that away and just made it a discussion post instead. So you have a quiz on chapter 6, which will be due on Sunday as well. And then you have your very first writing assignment. And so that's the one I want to highlight for a moment because you are still doing your discussion post. Let me back up for just 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and move your discussion post down to this week. And I'm going to just call it continue discussion post. And this is basically your do's and don'ts of business writing. And I believe I did a Zoom session on that already, and that is available under the videos on the homepage. I think I might have even sent an email with that in it. Actually, right here it says Zoom session on business writing, so it's already there. You can watch that, and that kind of goes over the do's and don'ts of business writing. But what I want you to do is in that assignment is obviously to continue to refine your list, come up with an initial list of the do's and don'ts. Look at other students' lists, and then if you need to continue to refine your list, and then that way by the end of the session or the end of the module, you will have a really well-refined and clear list of do's and don'ts of business writing, just like we did for the business presentations in the last module's discussion post. So I'm going to come back to modules. I edited that down. Now it says continue discussion post, so that's right here. And then you have again your first writing assignment. So I'm going to go there and talk about that for just a second. Again, you want to make sure before you start this assignment that you've watched my video on business writing, because now you're going to actually be writing. And so I want to make sure that you understand. You need to make sure you also look at how to format a memo. So this can be found, I believe, in the book. If you go to the back of your book, there's an appendix, and it has how to format a memo. There's also a section in chapter 4 when we talked about using document design to improve readability. You'll be reading in the notes that I give you that you need to make your document readable and scannable, and there's elements of design to do that. Make sure you don't miss using those in your assignment. That's very, very, very important that you do. And so yeah, so I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add to this box here those videos on how to format a memo and make sure you understand how to do that. That's not in there right now, but by the time you look at it, it will be. And so keep in mind, you definitely want to format this like a memo, and you want to use many design elements to improve the readability. And what I mean by that is, short single-spaced paragraphs. Your document should never be all one paragraph, maybe 5-6 lines per paragraph, 8 at the most. You should use bullet lists. You should use headings. You should use bold text throughout paragraphs to make important words or phrases stand out to catch the eye. All of that makes your document scannable. So make sure you do that. And you're graded 20 points on how readable and scannable it is. So make sure you utilize a lot of those features in your writing assignment. But here's the scenario. You can read it. It's basically announcing to your employees that there's now new floating holidays they can pick. And so you explain what that is and make it into a memo. So it needs to be formatted like a memo, etc. So make sure you look into how to format a memo and that you look in the appendix of your book and that you use many design elements, and you'll do well on the writing assignment. So that's pretty much it for this week. I will be, as far as your individual presentations, I already went through the entire list and I graded everybody's who initially turned it in and who also had viewed and commented on other students' presentations. And by the way, that is the criteria for me to grade yours, is you must view and comment on at least 2 other student presentations, and then I'll grade yours. So if you haven't done that, that's why yours isn't graded. Or you have done that and I just haven't made another round through, which I plan on doing early this week. So I'll be going through again early this week and grading probably another dozen or more of the presentations that are ready to be graded. And so keep watching. If yours has not been graded yet, then maybe because you still need to view and comment on others. So do that and then I'll grade yours. But that's it for week number 8. We're in week number 8. We have, this is a 15-week class, so I think we're about halfway through. So keep up the good work. And if you need anything, you can meet me during my office hours on Tuesday from 12:30 to 1:30 in Zoom. And you can find that a link in the homepage in